So Artur Beterbiev stops Callum Smith in the seventh round, dropped him twice in a hard fight. Throughout the fight, he was being calculated, wasn't really being too aggressive, was showing him different things throughout the fight as far as going to the body, kind of changing angles. Wasn't really trying to headhunt as much. Was going to the body early. A lot of times with Callum Smith, he was doing a lot of things early as far as his jab. He was with had a lot of distance, what we expect from Callum Smith. But later on throughout the fight, he could not stay off the ropes. I think that was kind of his downfall, but the stamina with these guys. I think a lot of times these guys' stamina isn't um as far as, let's just say Smith would have, let's just say throughout the fight when he dodging Beterbiev punches, he's not really putting himself in harm's way as much like he was when he was leaning against the ropes. Beterbiev, he was being calculated, but the jab is always going to be the most effective punch. When Callum Smith was out jabbing him, he was having Beterbiev on the back foot, but when he was letting Beterbiev have his way and kind of jab and outpunch him, because Beterbiev, he was placing that jab and kind of stabbing at it, and after a while, it turned into a power punch, and it turned into, his jab and his straight left. Sometimes it goes from just being something that just can be effective, and then it turns into a power punch later on in the fight. Kind of breaks guys down, and as you can see from the damage on Smith's face, it was just too much. Smith couldn't do much if he wasn't moving around. If he wasn't jabbing and moving, he couldn't do much. The right hand just couldn't keep Beterbiev off of him. Just a lot going on. I feel like the instructions he was getting was well, but it wasn't much they can do with him because he didn't make the adjustments inside the ring when he needed to. Just being on the corner and on the ropes a lot just wasn't a good recipe for him. Beterbiev's is a mauler, man. He makes guys uncomfortable. They don't really know what to do with him. He jumped on Callum Smith ASAP in the fight because he was already pissed off about the things he was saying about him and insinuating in the media. And, Eddie Hearn was throwing the fire on it, allegedly. But he was throwing the fire on it, trying to hype it up and answering questions about the results and different things like that. So Beterbiev was tired about that, man. He was like, y'all trying to ruin my week. And I'm just going to show y'all, you know what I'm saying? He went out there and was aggressive from the time the fight started. And people usually say he's a slow starter, but he had his foot on the gas this fight. Callum Smith, he fought well. I felt like he could have did a lot better. He wasn't as in shape as I thought he would be. I felt like if he was going to come in, well, I thought the fight went how I thought it would. But I thought he would surprise me and come in better shape than I thought he would. But he looked intimidated, man, all throughout the week. He was talking a lot before he showed up. He was still humble, but he was talking a lot. And just the last couple of days, he kind of slowed down on all that. And Beterbiev kind of showed him, you know what I'm saying? He took his best punches, and in the middle of the fight, it got rough for him. He couldn't really handle it. So what we seen from Callum Smith was just survival tactics, and he took a lot of hard punches, but he couldn't get his head out of the way. And he didn't use his length and his distance a lot either. He kind of kept him close up on him, and I don't think that was a good idea. Beterbiev just mauled him the whole time. He showed me a lot of different things in this fight. I'm glad he got the rounds in because that'll play dividends in the fight with Bivol during the summer. But I feel like he did a great job. He did a lot more than I thought he would as far as showing his whole arsenal. He didn't do everything he could have, but he had to put some work in to stop Callum Smith. He was a hard opponent, but even though he was moving up and everything, I felt like he was a lot stronger, but he just wasn't moving a lot, man. Just I know the punches was effective, but I felt like the stamina played a bigger part than just him standing in front of him. Because when he was moving, he was effective. It wasn't like Callum Smith didn't have his bright spots. Because the fight was close up until what, the fourth, fifth, sixth round? It wasn't a complete blowout, so I don't want to make it seem like it was just one-sided the whole time, which it was, but like I said, Callum Smith, he did a lot of things well. But I feel like he took his foot off the gas too early. Beterbiev's not someone you can kind of relax on. He had a very strong performance. And it's just his impact when he hits a guy. You can just hear it, whether it's on the body or on the chin. A lot of times Smith kept ducking down, and he could have put himself in harm's way anyways, because he could have got hit in the back of the head or a lot of things. So he's lucky to make it out the way he did, because all that ducking, he's a tall guy, so to be ducking down like that kind of doesn't make any sense at some point. But especially for a defensive strategy. But Beterbiev going to the head and his face, he made Callum Smith's face he was just unrecognizable. Couldn't even recognize what he looked like after a while. He started to bleed around the fourth or fifth round, and getting towards the sixth or seventh, it just got too bad. His corner stopped the fight after getting dropped twice. I thought the referee would kind of call the fight off after 2 knockdowns, but it just got too bad after a while. And Beterbiev just kept catching him in the corner. I felt like Callum Smith didn't have any legs or anything. I don't know what was going on, like the stamina, or I just didn't like that against Canelo when he was fighting Canelo. That leaving against the ropes type of deal. For any fighter that does that, that's not a good strategy. Especially against a guy with a 100% knockout ratio. So that's definitely knockout rate. So that's definitely crazy. I didn't understand that. He was just placing himself in the spot where he can get punched. Beterbiev's only 5'11", so he had the reach and size advantage and height, but he kept balling up and making himself a easy target. Didn't really understand that, but whatever strategy that Smith had, it worked, but he didn't have any stamina for it. That's the thing about it. Beterbiev kind of breaks you down. He goes to the body a lot of times, and then once he started hitting him in the face and going towards the head, it was just over with. And that's what Smith kind of went. But that was a good fight, though. I feel like Beterbiev did enough to where he's gonna show guys in the future, when the Bivol fight comes, that he's the real deal. But that's all I got, though. Like and subscribe.